Morning, everybody. Welcome to City Life. I'm Linda Bown. I'm your host. I have Hillari Wennerstrom co-hosting with me from Tewksbury, former select woman, former school committee woman, and back from the South.
Yes.
So
I think I was here right after I was back. We talked about my JetBlue experience, and come to find out I have a JetBlue connection over there that I never knew I had. So when JetBlue disappoints me, I'll be using the bat phone. But yes, it was quite a bit warmer, substantially been warmer. So I don't know what that means for hurricane season, but hopefully not bad since I have somebody down there.
I know. It was just the longest time. This weather was the longest time coming. It's just been so raw that I didn't think it was ever going to come.
Yeah, it has. We've had a few nice days, but few and far between, and it's unfortunate.
Almost worse.
Yes, yes.
It's a tease.
Unfortunate that Monday was rainy for all of the commemorations and stuff. But it sounds like a lot of towns got theirs off. Tewksbury did their graveside salute at all the graveyards, which our veterans director Chris Derry does an amazing job with that
Yes.
program. Very moving and just truly does a great job with that. So we were out there in the rain for that. I think Chelmsford got their clock tower
Yes.
revealed and
Walk from the Legion. I was supposed to walk. It was pouring. I said,
Yeah.
I don't
Tewksbury
think so.
got all their stuff. They got cemetery services done, and they got their
the
parade. Yep.
Tewksbury hasn't done a parade in a few years, but they still do the motorcade to the five. I think it's 5 cemeteries, right?
Yeah. Well, more, but I don't think they go to all of them.
Is there any that we don't go to?
We don't go to the bar one behind the school, behind the high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple little ones that we don't go to. The one going actually on Fletcher, the tiny little one. I don't know. Yeah. But it is a wonderful thing to do. I think I always recommend it to people. It's they do a fine job.
It was a hearty crowd this year, for sure. There was some rain and a lot of wet grounds. You saw a lot of people with their boots on.
Yeah.
and umbrellas up, not ready for summer, but a nice job.
Yeah. And then it got very warm, funny enough.
Yeah, it kind of stopped right as that finished up, and then ended up being a nice afternoon.
No. So now they're starting over in Tewksbury. I guess they're just gonna pick up. Of course, usually it's the other way. Like at the golf course. It passed the ballot, and then it was a disaster at the town meeting, which was quite. Oh, here comes Mike Dillon.
Yeah,
Which was quite unfortunate.
It seems like projects do have an ebb and flow to them. I don't know anything off recently that passed the ballot, other than the middle school that passed the ballot and the meeting in the same cycle. It usually takes a few cycles, and I would say for the most part, there's lessons learned. I hope there's some lessons learned with this one. Not making it at the ballot, and it's interesting. Good morning. Usually the ballot, up until the recent way that, when we switched to town meeting being after the election, the ballot would have been first, and so then it wouldn't have gone to town meeting had it failed at the ballot.
Yeah.
So a little different go round, but
Good point.
I do think there's some lessons to be learned from it, and hopefully everybody I talked to who was maybe a no or a definite no didn't recognize the need, just didn't understand that project, and so whether it was
Yeah, it wasn't the need issue.
the committee, the job of the committee, or just input didn't happen when it should have. I don't know. I wasn't on the committee, so I don't know.
No. Nobody got fired?
Nothing. Well,
That's a loaded question.
I think the fire department was safe after last night, but I can't say the same for the rest of the city.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, what did?
Why did something happen last night?
No. That's just it. I last Wednesday he was ranting. The manager was on a tear about it.
Yeah, it caught me off guard for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on, to be honest, but
They pushed a
different
button
tune.
there somewhere.
Yep. All the love from both sides
Yeah.
was a little bit different than last week for sure. I think the injunction had something to do with it.
Yeah.
There was an injunction filed, and that sort of, I assume, forced the manager's hand. But
And you've been busy. You had that horrible fire in Centerville.
yeah,
Did you have to work that?
yep, yeah, it was a crazy one.
I can't imagine with the wind.
Yeah,
It,
it was. Yeah, it's tough to think about. I never left the main building. I did. I was hearing over the radio what was going on elsewhere. I'd come over the radio. We have a house fully involved on May Street, and then there's another fire on June Street, and we only had one truck available. And
Was both were
Everybody
just
was
up the hill.
what's that?
Both were just up the hill.
Yeah.
Started with embers from the first fire.
Like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
random spots.
Really?
Within, I think about a 2-block area. But I was standing between the main building that was on fire on Bridge Street, and fire started blowing through the roof in the house next door. And so I knew that we were in a little bit of trouble. And then I started hearing there was structure fires 2 blocks away. Also, turned into a mess. But I mean, as good as it could have. No casualties whatsoever. And
that's amazing.
2 injuries on our side that were a hospital trip, and the guys seemed to be fine. So
Oh, good.
that's a miracle, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get something like that, but everybody was there. If you can name a town, I think they were there. So it was good. I mean, as good an outcome as you can probably hope for in that situation.
Well, the winds, I don't know what it is this year, this season, but the wind has just been dreadful. It was all winter.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And and it's going to, I suppose, if it continues for you, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
the kicker there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, how it was spreading. But, I mean, the first companies that showed up, that main building there, I think it had large bushes, like trees right in front of the house, and it was like a fireball, the front of that house.
No
So,
kidding.
I guess it's not hard to believe. I mean, when you have flames that big, it's burning that hot. I guess the chance of spread is not that hard to understand, but it was. Things just kept catching. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid it's going to be a bad season. It's a dry season. We're dry already in the spring.
Yeah, I was starting to see like bark mulch smoldering, and brush is starting to catch here and there. But
I don't think anybody thinks of mulch.
Well, a few
know,
years
it's-
ago, the house down by on Redgate Extension, they
I remember that.
they got destroyed, and they say it started in the mulch.
yeah, you start to notice like in the spring, people start laying mulch down. It's dry, the sun starts baking on it, and and then if it gets lit somehow, a loose cigarette or something, it can get it going pretty easy.
Just absolutely frightening. I'm terrified of fire. It's my biggest fear.
Yeah, you've had some close encounters,
Yes, I
right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
It's just not good. So, but I'm glad everybody's safe and out of the hospital and well. So,
Yeah.
I wish you a good season. Do you think that obviously the new equipment must have helped?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, you look comparatively at what we were dealing with like 10 years ago. We had trucks that we probably shouldn't even been in service, So now we're dealing with a fleet that is, the oldest truck is 2 years old, or they're all newer than like 3 to 4 years maybe actually is probably the oldest.
Hey, Mike, that battery just went kaput, so just use the other guy, will you? I'll change that out before Karen comes.
We've got over, of course, and I'm always whining about it, but we have no hydrants. They're there, but Drake it just doesn't.
Yeah, but you got that water truck.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, but that's not going to do it. I mean, you gotta have hydrants and Drake it, there's nothing we can do, I guess, for Drake it. They just refuse to repair them and have them, everybody knows. I just hope the insurance companies don't know.
Sorry, Linda, okay. Not everybody knows. Everybody knows what?
That the Drake it Water Department does not do anything with the hydrants. The fire that was on my street, not
hydrants
one
that are in-
hydrant worked.
The hydrants that are in Tingsboro.
Yeah, along
So,
the way.
does the Drake and Water Department own those hydrants?
Yes.
Yes.
Has the selectmen ever heard of suing them?
Well, they've done everything we've had Colleen, Gary, they did bring, the residents brought, a suit at one point and lost their shirt on it.
There was, I remember last summer, and I think it was last summer because I was going over to the
On
middle school
Muscatine.
building committee meetings. There was one on Norris that kept running and it was flooding the street of Norris. And, we had just done where, Norris connects into, is it Frost right there?
Yeah.
Is that Frost? And I remember saying to someone, the town manager who was there, I said, are we gonna call and say, hey, that hydrant's been running for hours on end? Because it was running at the start of the meeting and still running at the end of the meeting, and it was well past business hours. So we know, the water department doesn't work past business hours unless they have a water issue, and there was nobody there. So he said, well, I called and they said it's supposed to automatically shut off once it's done flushing. And I said, well, it doesn't. It's not. So could we send somebody there before it ruins the road? Because it was just pouring water. And I don't, it was on somebody's property right there. I don't know who when you turn on to Norris. But so they have hydrants that work. Maybe it's the opposite of yours.
Yeah, not along the lake. And there was a big issue last year with the piping, and
Yes.
they wanted the residents to pay for all their piping and labor. It's I know up where I am on top of the hill on Glendale, there was a broken pipe for like 3 years.
Just back the bus up a little, Linda, on this water company. Is it a freestanding water company, or is it the town of Drake it?
It's a
That
free
one's the freestanding. Drake, it has two.
No, but the one, I don't get, the one we're talking about is a freestanding water company.
It's not part of the town.
And, if
But we can't vote. They vote, but we.
If you're not getting the service you want from a landlord, you have to take them to court.
Right.
And they're the landlord of your water, of your fire hydrants. You got to take them to court. And if you don't, you're the ones who are liable.
It's a little, but you're dealing with the DPU, and the DPU does not. They're supposed to regulate.
No, I think you take them to district court right over here at the new courthouse.
Well, I know that things have been tried over the years. They've tried. Nothing
Well,
has.
Mike
It ended
Mike
up
will
with
tell
the
you-
residents.
Mike will tell you the reason that the manager changed his mind was he got a court order saying, hey, you got to have this many firemen. Now, I know you see it a different way, but the court sees it this way.
Yeah.
And when you get an order from the court, turn on those fire hydrants. I know you don't want to, but you damn well better.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that had a major influence in how last night went.
So,
For sure.
do you know more specifically what the injunction said? And if you don't, you can't know everything.
Yeah, it was, I think it was just firming up contractual language that we have that, when the manager came in, he made a commitment to no brownouts. And
Well, that's a silly term you guys hang on.
I get you, but listen, not closing companies was a big deal because no manager has done it. I don't know the last manager that's really committed to it. So, to his credit, he committed to that. But his, whole thing at the time was let's keep the staff numbers up in order to keep the overtime budget down.
Do you
And
know where
right now-
that term brownout came from?
No, we've talked about this. I don't know actually where
Okay.
it ever,
It just doesn't make it. Look, we're shutting fire stations. Why don't you just be
I've
right up
actually
front
looked
about
it up, and I can't even. I don't even know where it goes back
Yeah,
to. But
the union should consider leaving that in
it
the
basically
past.
just you got to hire one for one. It was brought up. I don't know if I was watching the show yesterday or I don't know, sometime in the discussion over the last week that you need 3 guys to run a truck. If
Yep.
if you don't have 3 guys for each truck, then you're either hiring somebody in order to cover that spot, or that truck is closed for the day, and it's just not in operation. And those 2 other guys will be sent elsewhere, or however many you have. But so that's actually what the term brownout, kind of refers to. It's a newspaper term. That's just.
Oh, we're gonna blame it on the sun.
No, but
no,
I
but
don't-
Okay, when I see Melanie, I'll blame it on her.
sure.
Okay.
But the manager's whole thing was to keep the staffing up, because we were requesting more overtime. We needed a bigger overtime budget if that was the case. And you can either have a fully staffed department where there are extra guys to fill those spots when you need them, or the overtime's going to go up. And we're at a point where our numbers are extremely low and below that number of 203. And he even had us up to 213 initially, like right away, because that significantly cuts back. But 203 is the minimum. And I believe that was contractual language that our union filed an injunction, I guess, looking to affirm that, and came back saying yes, that's the contractual commitment that you made. So I guess he had to abide. I don't know. That's my understanding of it. How it worked.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad everybody got their jobs back. That's fantastic. And the Bridge Street fire was awesome, what you guys did on that. And the fact that it blew up the hill on a windy day, that's Mother Nature taking her course.
Yeah. Yep.
And the only criticism I got was the radios. You guys only have one channel, I guess?
I heard that
Everybody-
conversation. Was that yesterday?
Yeah,
Somebody was called in?
Yeah, everybody was stepping on it.
Yeah, it's terrible. We have 2 channels. Probably not enough. Not enough on that day. I mean, there was, especially when you have all the other companies and multiple fire scenes at a time. I mean, one radio channel is good enough if you have one structure. You have everybody's working on the same project. When there are 6 fires going on at the same time, it's absolute chaos.
Yeah, Mike, I can tell you, we got 3 funeral homes, and I think we have 8 channels,
Oh my goodness.
because you have 2 funerals going from, you need them sometimes. You don't need them every day, but when you need them, you need them.
Yeah.
Exclusivity, because funeral A is on this particular channel, and nobody's gonna bug them, so it works out pretty good. And I can see where the firefighters, you get more than one fire going. Guys, get on the other side of the building. Well, who are you talking to? You talking to me, or you talking to the other fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that day it was, the amount of communication you have to put out over the radio gets much longer. You can't just speak in simple terms, because you have to talk about what building you're talking about, who you're looking for. The right person has to respond to you in between all the chatter from all the other fire buildings. It becomes impossible.
Well,
we had 2 channels operating.
I
But
took
even
my
with 2 channels,
I took my drone one day over, and I did a fire over on Tanner Street, and I'm listening on the fire radio, and the guy says go from side 1 to side 3, and you could physically, I don't know where these sides were, but anyway, you could physically see the firemen move, all of them move from one side of the building to the other,
we use A, B, C, D.
or whatever it
Yep.
was.
Yep.
And it was just amazing to see how over the walkie-talkies they heard go from this spot to this, and they all moved. Amazing.
It's funny, yeah. So we use, the terminologies. The A side of the building is the main.
Okay, I
Side of the
misspoke.
No, I'm not correcting you, John.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
jumpy today.
I'm good. I'm happy for it. It's the coffee.
The A side of the building would be the front-facing side, and you go around clockwise, so it would be B, C, and D side. But we had 6 buildings, some of them facing one direction, some of them facing
Oh my
the other.
God.
And I was laughing. I'm laughing thinking back on it and listening to some of the communication, and we were using terminology that day that we typically don't use. It was like, now, are you talking about the building in the back of the main building to the left of the carport behind the garden? And it was a mess. But
And who went to Maine? I'm just kidding.
oh yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy day. But luckily,
Hey, you guys did it.
out.
Put
Yeah.
it out, man.
Well, I remember
Save
when you
Centerville.
first came on with me. That's the first time I ever heard of brownouts, and I assumed it had to do with electricity when the lights were dimmed.
So Councilor Robinson was just texting me. It originated during World War II. He must have found something on it.
Oh, the
when-
brownout thing?
Yeah, the term likely originated World War II.
Oh, I
when
got it over here too, thank you.
cities dimmed their lights to avoid detection,
Oh, yeah.
leading to its association with reduced services.
Well, that's quite different from a fire station being closed. I was appalled at the time when you said, "Oh, well, engine A or B or 2 or 12, whatever." There's no one there. I
Yeah.
mean, when people have a fire station next to it, they assume there's someone in it
I know.
running it.
I know. My house in particular on Pine Street, where I work, was it was not always, but it seemed to be closed a lot. We're a small station,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think it's just easier to close, but the Highlands is a big area. It's incredible when you start to actually see how it operates when a station is closed. The ripple effect that it has. Everybody in their brain has this picture of there's firehouses everywhere, but if you have one fire call, even if it doesn't result in much, we're still sending 5 companies in one direction and 5 trucks, to a scene that we're expecting a fire. And now those 5 trucks are out busy somewhere, and there's a fire in that, actually something happens in that area. Now you're talking about the next closest trucks, which could be across the bridge, and so when days that get hectic, when we're busy, it just compounds the issue. And now you're talking like there are times where you're responding all the way across the city because everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start closing companies, it makes that a regular happening.
Just take a look at the screen, and that Councilor Corey Robinson, I gave him a feather from his cap last night for trying to save the taxpayers some money at the city council meeting. I watched most of it, and he did a fabulous job, and I was surprised at some of his colleagues. They don't want to save any money. So, brownout, the term likely originated in World War II when cities dimmed their lights to avoid detection, leading to its association of reduced services. In the 1970s, the practice of closing fire stations for budgetary reasons was informally termed firehouse roulette, highlighting the risks involved. Good point. And yesterday, Marty Laurie had texted in, and Marty Laurie didn't talk anything about the management of the city. He was talking about something else, and he said you can use my name, and I connected his name to the wrong text. So I apologize, Marty, that I put the wrong thing out yesterday, and had nothing to do with the management of the city. So back over to you guys.
Oh, okay.
The budget process, it's impossible to save money. Sean McDonough, first of all-star. But his attempts, and Corey also, his attempts I don't think brought much savings. And he started to talk about it, but when they're going through the budget and they're going department by department, and
Why
just
don't
taking
the
a vote
Why
on
don't the
what to cut.
department heads answer the questions?
That would help, but just the nature of going department to department and not looking at the budget as a whole. I mean, yeah, when you look at every department, you're not really going to find much that you're like, okay, I'm not really sure. You got to take you almost have to rank positions and come up with the bottom positions that are expendable in each department, then compare them citywide. But they're finalizing each department, going, oh, this. You're never going to cut money that way. Like, they come up with a few $1,000s here and there, and the school budget does it the same way. It's like the process doesn't allow for it.
Well, how would you prefer we do it?
I think it's it's difficult in a room of where 12 people have to agree, but you got to compare departments.
No, you just need a majority. You need 7.
Well, sure.
But I think when you also don't, when you do department, and I've done it at the school committee level and the town level. You know, you almost have to have that running number. And our former superintendent, Don Champa, one year when we had to cut a lot, did that, you know, had that running number up there. So this is where we're this is what we're spending, this is what we have to lose or, you know, eliminate. And as you go through each line item, you know, you have to see, okay, did it keep that line or did it affect this line, and how they went, because you're right. You know, you look at a single, you know, department and you're like, okay, well, there's nothing we can cut here, and then we go on to the next. Oh, we can cut maybe 1,000 here, but you don't have that big picture, and you can't see that number that you have to get to, and you have to realize, because sometimes you get to the end and you're like, okay, well, we've already passed everybody, so now this department is what gets the gap, because
You're
they're the end
exactly
of the
right.
line, and we still have X number to cut. So
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, after they speak about each department, they're voting to approve
right.
that department. And so, yeah, as you go down the line and you're like, wow, we only cut like $20,000, you're like, they can't go back because they already approved each department's budget.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that's, you know, what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it doesn't add up to much, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I think they can go back and correct any department they want until they approve the entire budget. Once they approve the entire budget,
Yeah.
then
but
they
once
can't
they're
go
in
back
that
and fix.
process, though, they get going, and you know,
Well,
it was
here we
11
got-
o'clock before they even.
Well,
you
and it's
know.
hard to dial back a cut that you might have made, or, you know, dial back something that you might have already done, because you've already spent all the time justifying it, and then when you get to the end and you still have more to cut, how do you go back and dial something that you've just spent, you know, a half an hour defending? You know, it's hard. It's not an easy process. You know, that's the one.
Well, and you got
time
the
of year I
new
don't
guy,
miss.
you got the new guy, Sean McDonough, first time up at bat, and he's getting no help from his colleagues on the committee. You get none from senior people who've been there for 1,000 years, and I thought it was a little on the silly side. I think the mayor should have started out by interviewing each city councilor. Is there anywhere you read the budget, any place you can see where we should cut this budget? And we'll talk about it later on. I think you should have rolled out that way. And then you realize the manager has already told these people, look, I got your kid a job. You're going to approve this budget. And that's just how the whole frickin' city works. You owe the manager. Sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, how does that work though, John? Because they're only there for 3 years usually.
If
So,
Glenda,
unfortunately, when your uncle is not manager anymore, you lose your job.
if I'm the manager and I gave your kid a job, you're beholden to me forever.
But again,
Forever.
every 3.
Even if I get a new job.
That doesn't even make sense to me. How can that be? Because they change, and they're equally important each time they change.
When
Every 3 years.
We both know city councilors who Golden has gotten jobs for, and they beholden forever.
Jeez, it's depressing. That's depressing.
Well, that's how the
I
city
don't-
works. You owe me.
Well, no wonder it would be top heavy then, with
There are certain
administration.
people who work for the city who are untouchable.
Yep.
And that's it. And, you know, speaking to the nepotism issue, I'm the king of nepotism. I hire all my relatives. And I just think that that's not a bad practice. If it's in your genes, it's in your genes.
Right? Okay, I can go with that piece. But just the nature of the animal changing all the time.
But when it comes down to cutting, they had poor Connor Baldwin. He's up there in his defending the budget on every turn, because department heads couldn't come up to the podium and explain their budget. So who the hell made the budget?
How
for their
can that be?
See, the only guy they asked Mike Gary, where'd the budget come from? And he starts to bumble the answer, and then Connor Baldwin took over. And the only one to stand up and actually defend his department well was the computer guy, the MIS, Fernandez. He got up and he spoke very well, convincing the city council, hey, I know I have this much help, I have this much money, but this is what we do. And he reminded them, every computer you see is connected through my office.
Yeah, but how did he defend that the computers didn't work for a year or whatever it was?
Well, he said they're the champion of the United States for getting their computers fixed.
He defended so well, they had to cut him off, if I remember correctly. They were like, yeah, okay, all right, we get it, you're important.
And see, I think when the computers got cut off 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, no explanation was made to the taxpayer. It was all like the senior center right now, the hocus pocus that's going on with the senior center. There's no explanation to the public. Oh, we can't. We're in secret squirrel meetings. We can't tell anything about it. They did the same song and dance about when the computers were down.
We have no idea about that. No idea.
No.
It's crazy. I'm agreeing with you. I mean,
And
it's
so
it's
that's
unbelievable.
why I have a problem that nobody said, oh, by the way, what was the problem? And what have you done to avoid it happening again?
All I know is it's a lot harder to log onto the computer at work these days. They've
Well,
made
only-
it so hard that we can't even get into the computer system.
Really?
It's just it's a project. I feel like they get it. Constantly changing passwords, and it's
Oh.
the protections are like so great that it's like sometimes you don't even want to sign on to the computer. But I guess
They-
we're safer.
You have the same thing, like in the state, I have to go in, I put my password in, then they send me a message to my email, which I have to go to another screen to look at my email,
We actually have an app.
and then come back and.
sends you a
you're
notification.
over,
Yeah.
yeah, you're jumping all over the place, and I'm not really good at that.
Password changes every 2
Or,
months.
yeah, the code's to
And-
the cell phone, and then if somebody leaves, you don't know whose cell phone the
Right.
number's going to, so you're searching around for who's getting that, or who are these last 4 digits? Who got this code?
Yeah,
I
well,
think
they're in
it's
North
everywhere.
Carolina now.
I think it's everywhere for everything, and we've multi-authenticated ourselves so many times we don't know where we're going.
But getting back to the budget hearing, I would let the department head speak for his or her department and say, okay, looking at the budget, what can you cut? And then you button those right there. Linda's in charge of the brooms. Okay, Linda, I know the brooms are all stacked up. They look nice and everything else. Can you cut 30 grand?
And you have to know, I mean, we've all worked with budgets, you have to know pretty much what you can and cannot. And you're absolutely right, that by doing it individually, that ought to be done, all figured out before.
Well, the budget, it seems to me that the department heads don't know their budget.
Well, that's shameful.
And so why are we giving them money they don't know anything to do with?
Well, the problem with it is that
'Cause
they're
that's-
obviously not running it. That's even more frightening.
Another thing that Sean McDonough brought up that's a huge point on this topic is that our police chief and fire chief are essentially powerless against the manager because they've been taken out of civil service and they're just appointees by the manager. They
And
have
they can be gone tomorrow.
they have no zero ability to vouch for the department. They're at the whim of the manager, and that's something that we
Wow.
fought hard at the time. Kevin Murphy was the manager, took the fire chief out of civil service, so he has no protections. I mean, the city's always going to win. The city always is pretty much in control. If the money's there,
You mean in
they'll
the
pay
city,
us, and if the
city
money's not there,
administration, city administration,
Yes.
not the taxpayer.
yes, absolutely, yes, you're right. But at least with the civil service protection, the fire chief could squawk about it. He's still not going to get necessarily, but he can at least stick up for the men. And now, we've taken that completely away from at least those 2 department heads. Sean McDonough's been bringing it up though, as something that we got to look to go back to.
Good.
Because I mean that made me think of it when you said the department heads aren't really able to come up to the mic and talk much about it because I think the manager has control of every department head. And that's not good for each individual department for sure. it's not going to help us get what we want for.
Does he get any support?
Who?
Sean, when he brings these things up, does he have anybody in his corner that says, yeah, by the way, that does make sense, we ought to change that?
Oh, yeah, he hasn't gotten pushback necessarily. But I don't know that it's come up in the chambers. I definitely heard him talking about it on here. And that's what I like about him. It's difficult to understand our job, and maybe the police are the same. When I hear people talking about it in the council chambers, even when you think you gotta, like, these people have a grasp on it, they go to the next topic, and I'm like, wow, they have no idea about our job. And just because it's different, it's not 9 to 5. The hours clocking in and clocking out are totally different. Our time is different, like sick time, vacation time. Just the daily operation and how things function is
So,
difficult
Mike,
to understand. But he gets it. He looks into the numbers and he sees. And when he sees a problem, he says things, and I'm like, wow, he's digging.
Mike, on that time off bit, okay, if you bang out sick one day,
Yep.
is that 24 hours? Is that 8 hours? Or can you explain to the audience how that works?
Yep. So
Just because the city councilors don't understand it either.
I know it's tough. That's what I was
So
kind of trying
a
to
lot
get
of them
at.
are watching the show. So
Yep. So
if you bang out, so Mike Dillon, he's sick, his kid's sick, his wife's sick, somebody's sick, and you got to bang out a day.
Yep. So that would go in as it's 24 hours because that's how long we're there, and that's broken up into 2 tours, which would be the day shift or the night shift. The day shift is 10 hours. The night shift is 14 hours. That would be, to hire for a day shift, you got to hire.
Now, how does it count
overtime for
against your
10
sick
hours.
time? How does it count against your sick time?
That would be each tour. So that would be 2 tours. Each 24 hours is 2 sick days, basically, you would use.
So you don't just call in, or do you call in for just one?
But isn't it 3 days work?
You could.
Isn't it
No,
3
because
days
they're
work?
not on a, well, if you
It's.
consider 8-hour days, but they don't have 8-hour days.
I know, that's why this is
No,
all
well, what I'm
difficult
saying
to-
is
to
they have a
understand.
24-hour shift,
Yep.
and the city is really crisp about how many hours you work.
Mhm.
And some city employees only work 32 hours a week.
Yep.
Some work 36 hours a week. Nobody works more than 36. And so the city goes, well, the firemen have to be held a different way because we get full pay for 36 hours,
42 is our week.
42 hours.
Yeah.
So that's why things are really screwed up. Because an hour at the firehouse is different than an hour at the city clerk's office.
Yes, very true. And also, we have to hire 1 for 1.
Well, and
if
if
a
you
clerk is out, well, you don't have to hire necessarily that
You don't
day.
have a clerk and go and hire.
Sure, but you don't have to pay somebody overtime to fill in that spot. There's just going to be less work that gets done that day.
And that's why when we have our brownout, a closed firehouse,
Yep.
those other 2 guys, don't you got girls on the firehouse, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so those other 2 firefighters
Mm-hmm.
are assigned elsewhere.
Yes. Yeah. And that helps cover trucks that need
Yeah,
people elsewhere. So
3's good in the truck, 4's even better.
But so going to the staffing thing, if we're almost overstaffed, right? We have certain companies across the city that have 4 men assigned to them, like 4 firefighters assigned to a truck. So on days where there are a few guys out across the city, you take that 4th person and send them to a truck that needs it. Now nobody needs to get hired that day. So that's another advantage to having a full complement of people in the city. But if you only have the bare minimum, 3 guys assigned to each truck each day, and somebody's out, somebody needs to replace them. But if you have a full complement and you have actually
Why-
more than you need, then even if a few people are out, you can still cover the whole city
Mike,
with the
the
manpower that you have.
manager chastising the fire department for overtime, and my chastisement to the manager is it's been going on, whatever's going on today has been going on for years. What are your thoughts on that? Did you see his rant?
Yeah, it was
Purely show business?
yeah, It was a political show.
That's what I thought. It was a Texas sidestep thing.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing chess. How long was he on Beacon Hill?
And
I mean,
nobody can tell me what he did.
I don't know, but he's good at it, and I don't know what he was trying to get out of that, but I don't know. That's a him problem, because his idea in the first place when he decided to fill the no closing trucks, his thing was more staff,
People get
more
ticked
staff,
off
less overtime.
when I call
Well,
them
that makes sense,
accountable-
There's a
accountable
balance. It's either your overtime budget's up here and your staffing's down here, or your staff, but you can find an area to work those numbers out. And so he wanted more staff, and we hired a ton of guys. But
Okay.
now we haven't hired in over 2 years. The 6 guys that were potentially being laid off, I actually couldn't believe it. I didn't realize how long it's been. They all had over 2 years experience. It wasn't brand new employees.
Yeah.
That were, potentially being let go.
Well, I don't, now, explain to me in the fire department, when you're hiring new people.
Mhm.
Like,
It's a process, so it's tough. You can't just,
Yeah, I mean,
you don't
the-
just hire somebody. And
I
they're
can't
on
take
it, yeah.
someone, then it's not like a clerk or someone that's in a secretarial pool or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a person that's trained to be a fireman has to be a fireman and know how to run, whatever his or her job is, to run the truck, to do they have to understand that. You can't just take someone from,
No, I mean, you have a list that is ready to go, but you need almost 3 months of training. So we said you got to send them to the Mass Fire Academy
yeah?
to go through the training. Everybody that you send there has to come out of there passing and healthy. I mean, at times there are injuries. Somebody drops out of the academy. You lose a recruit for one reason or another, and it's long term, so that's tough. It's like you send six firefighters to the academy to be trained. It's a 3-month process, just about. And if you lose one or two in the process, they don't make it through the academy for one reason or another. Now you're trying to fill those 2 spots later. It's another months long process, and so it's just tough to do. Plus, the academy has to have room. You can't just say tomorrow we're going to send 10 guys to the academy. You have to call the academy and say, hey, do you got 10 slots for 10 firefighters from Lowell? And it doesn't always happen that way. And after COVID, there was a long backlog because they were taking less people, and that whole thing. But
What about a town like Tewksbury that has volunteer? Now, they must be trained. I assume they go to the academy.
We're not volunteer anymore, though.
We're not what?
We're not volunteer. We have full-time firefighters.
I know, but we do
so-
have some, we do
Yeah.
have volunteers.
it's partial, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're few and far between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting less and less. But I was curious if any of them could qualify for a call list at any,
Well, don't you have to be,
Well-
because Lowell Civil Service, you have to be on the
Yeah.
civil service list before you get your call. Like, you can't just, there's people that wait years on the list to get the call.
It was 7 or 8 years before
Yeah.
I got on.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you're civil service,
No, I hadn't
Well,
even
Well,
thought about
I
civil
took 3
service.
tests.
I got 3 texts for you to read, Lynn.
Good morning. When you have a functioning downtown with commercial tax-based income, that goes a long way to bringing in revenue to a city that desperately needs money, yes.
I hit the wrong doggone button, but that's okay. We'll fix this wagon.
I'm pretty sure all but one city council works for some sort of government agency, so when it comes to budgets and savings, will never happen.
One more to go. Where's the last guy?
We do need more business people involved.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't department heads explain their budget? Didn't they create their own budget? I guess not.
That's the last one.
So if the fire chief and police chief are not protected, then who does do their budget? Does Connor do their budget, or do they do their budget?
Well, you got to ask them. But what I do know is that they can't. There's no bartering with the manager.
Wow.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're just an appointee by the manager. So And
You
that
don't
goes,
like it, there's the door.
yeah. And like I said, like at least the chief in past years when they were in civil service, at least they were able to go to the meeting and squawk about issues. Now, they don't say anything unless a counselor specifically brings them to the microphone and asks them a pointed question. And that's the nature of them just being an appointee.
So does that drop it in the lap of the union?
Yes, I mean, so then, the union is,
They have to do the speaking.
that's who can at least, step up, because they're not in the union, the chiefs,
Right.
They leave the union and get appointed into that position. So, and they're beholden to the manager.
Well, that's like the state. You don't want to go above a certain level because then you're at the whim of the governor.
Mhm.
Similar.
Well,
Watching
it's-
last night's meeting, only three counselors wanted to cut anything. The rest just pushed their chairs back from the microphone. Except to complain about, because Sidney Lang, he was looking to cut stuff. Sean McDonough was looking to cut stuff, and so was Corey Robinson. And the other city councilors just pushed their chairs back from their microphone and listened.
Mhm.
I don't think Sakari Chow said a word, and on that note, who would you rather have for a state rep? Corey Robinson or Sakari Chow, after listening to last night's episode?
It's a
We have
tough
another-
question, because I
Another cowardly lion.
know, I like Corey being in his seat right now.
Well, that was
Yes.
what I was going to say. It's a double-edged sword there. You don't want to lose him where he is if he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
We need to get more money up from the State House. We have a lackluster senator. I didn't see her in the Tewksbury parade, and she's not going to do anything. And if you think you're going to get a ton of money from the state senate like you got out of Eddie Kennedy, you're dreaming.
Well-
Do you think the senator's going to do a good job, Lynn?
Oh, no, I mean, there was a time when the Lowell delegation was respected and did get things done, but they worked together, and it was a different time. They don't have a clue. It's not-
So
Is the
money's
pipe-
going to dry up from the state unless you get a fighter like Robinson down there. Money's going to dry up. The speaker just says, "Oh, I'm going to bestow the money here," unless somebody's belly aching about it.
Is the pipeline from the state to Lowell not as strong as it's been in the past?
Correct.
Yeah.
'Cause
Seems
you
that
look
way,
at
right?
what's Tara done? He's nice. They're all nice people.
Mhm.
But what's he done?
But one could argue the pipeline from the state is drying up in a lot of, it's not just Lowell. There's a lot of cities and towns that are no longer getting, now it seems to be if the state gives you a little money here, they take it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
whereas, when everybody thought, oh, we're gonna get all this marijuana money and taxes from the marijuana taxes, and that's gonna flush us with cash. Well, the state just took away what they thought you were gonna make in your marijuana money from another account. Like, they weren't all of a sudden gonna still give you money for here when they thought you were gonna make it on your own there. So I think that's,
Well, the way the State House is set up, all the state reps are down there with a wheelbarrow, an empty wheelbarrow, looking for. Sorry, Mike, but
Keep going.
this
It's a good one.
this explanation works. Okay, they're down there with their empty wheelbarrow. They go up to Mr. Speaker. Can you give me some sand? And he gives you one shovelful. Now he likes me, so he fills my wheelbarrow up. And nobody says, "Why did McDonough get a full wheelbarrow?"
Yeah, but that comes at a cost.
Because I do what I'm told.
well, right.
That's
so
right.
The people who got the full wheelbarrow are beholden to the speaker, and as we know, and
As is like the city council, are beholden to the
You know,
manager
that-
because he got some relative a job. Or he got them a
you
job.
know, we were going through speakers like crazy for a while, but this one seemed to have settled in for a little bit.
And I'm sorry for the crooked TV on Facebook. I fixed the tripod, but I fixed the wrong leg. So that's why.
Oh, well.
Well, I'll show you that. That's how bad it looks.
Oh, okay.
So I'll try to fix that.
So you're not having vertigo
Yeah,
after
but
all.
it's, so I think it's the same anyway. The seat of power is the seat of power.
Right, and so actually in private business, it's the same way. You
Yeah.
just don't bite the hand that's feeding you there. You have a boss and you have to work accordingly.
So they didn't finish last night. They're gonna attempt to get through the budget next Tuesday. Because they're already on summer schedule.
What department is last on the list?
It's not even summertime yet, and they're already on summertime schedule. God bless our government.
How far through did they get? I was not aware of that.
Well, the mayor has one list of who's next, and the city councilors have another list for who's next.
Nobody
So-
wants to be that last one. So make
Oh, I
sure-
bet.
When they ended, I was surprised actually that they were all going to get out of there. But then I guess I didn't think of like how much they actually have left to do. 'Cause, I mean, they were talking about like there's 25 departments or a number somewhere around there. I'm trying to think now how much did they actually get through. I don't know.
But they get more to do next Tuesday, so when you're at Market Basket, pick up some popcorn.
Wow.
Another 4 hours to cut $25,000.
Well, if it's your job, they're gonna save.
Yep.
It's different.
Yeah, but as you're saying, it's nickel and diming at the end of the day.
Well, I
But
think
are they
you
cutting?
have to ask the department head, Madam Department Head, can you give me $15,000 back? And
But
if there's 24 departments, that's a big chunk of dough.
But if they're all beholden to the manager or whomever, then it's a vicious cycle.
But
They're not gonna step up.
When you're looking at your city councilor, and your city councilor asks you, can you give me 10 grand? Can you give me $15,000 in savings? No, I can't. I understand. And now they know in summertime, when you're looking for overtime money, no, we're not gonna give it to you.
Yeah, well, no, that's a great point, John. That's how I feel like, things went with the fire department. It's like, of course we can have a conversation about how we can, limit overtime on the job. Not the week of the budget. I mean, that's something that, could be a very easy conversation. Hey, talking to the union, we got to do, like, I don't want coming up next year to have an issue. What can we do? Can we, can we make this change? That's a problem that can be solved, and the union wouldn't be defensive about it. But you come out the week of the budget and start screaming about overtime and sick leave, and that gets, it's calling the whole job out and maybe that was part of the plan. I don't know. It's chess, right? I used to think politics was just people trying to make good decisions, but it's a game of deception and chess moves. So maybe that was part of it, but man, those are things that you got to have a conversation about in advance.
And no, I'm not saying this was the case because I don't know, but oftentimes there's conversations that are had to just distract from where the real issues are.
That's exactly what I meant. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it was a conversation that does that. I experienced that a lot as well, and people would have conversations to get everyone talking about one issue when really there's an issue over here that we just don't want to talk about. So we're gonna push everybody in that direction.
Mm-hmm. I was so naive walking in. I had no idea. No idea. I don't know. Maybe I should have, but I thought you put in a good motion that is good for everyone all the way around, and why wouldn't everybody say yes to it? And that is far from what the game actually is. It's a lot more of what Hillary was just saying.
And how is the superintendent weathering this?
In Lowell?
Yeah.
I have no news about this about his status since our last talk. I mean, it sounds to me like there are members of the committee that are itching to. I think they just like hiring superintendents. I think they like the process, or they like they get to talk down to somebody that's more important than them, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. It's like being a coach. You hire a coach for a team, and you can't just fire a coach every 2 years. Like, how can you possibly, the superintendent's role, it's not like a teacher. A teacher has an influence that day. What they do every day is important for that day. The superintendent makes policy that it takes 3 years to really see the fruits of. So when you're just bickering and questioning and, controlling the superintendent like a puppet and then kicking him out after 2 or 3 years, you haven't even seen the result of what that superintendent is really capable of.
How long do we got to give them?
I don't know, but 2 years before we start, at least see how things are going.
Wouldn't you agree, Lowell, when it comes to administration, is all about jobs?
Yes.
Okay. So when you don't hire my son or my daughter, I'm going to axe you. Linda, I got 4 texts for you.
Yeah, you're exactly correct, Mr. McDonough. You need a fighter at the State House, and Council Corey Robinson is that man. You need someone that's going to bring that money back and not take no for an answer. Unfortunately, the firefighters can't use the children as pawns like the teachers union does.
Jeez.
All
Good
the- Ouch. All the city councilors who push their chairs back without any input about cutting costs should be ashamed of themselves. You were put in office to be accountable and help out its citizens. Jay.
Last one.
Oh, everyone, don't forget when the manager said it all falls on him and now he's blaming everyone else. What a fraud.
Thanks, Lynn.
So, well, that was, wow.
Hey, that was interesting.
That was painful. So, I don't know. I just, what you're saying about just the point that you're making, that you don't discuss it the week before on the budget. You don't just bring it up. Everybody knows what the issue is, and you discuss it, and you shouldn't be blindsided at the end of the.
So, Lynn, we're going to go to break because we'll have a smooth transition to coming into the next segment. So we'll be back. Thanks.
Okie dokie. Okay, welcome back to City Life. I'm Linda Bown. I'm your host. I have Hillari Wennerstrom co-hosting from Tewksbury, former selectwoman, former school committee member, and former school committee member Mike Dillon, and also a firefighter. And Karen Cassella is in the building. I see her coming.
Look at her adorable son.
Oh, look at her. Gorgeous. Lovely, lovely.
Morning.
There you are.
We'll sit down and we'll put you right here.
Oh,
You got the more important title these days.
Oh, please. Good morning, everyone.
good morning.
Those school buses get you every time.
I know. Well, we have the bridge to deal with, but you have many bridges to deal with, so
Right?
they're
I
all
know,
an issue.
right?
No,
No, I know. It's just, you never know.
no. So Karen Cassella, tell us what's happening, the registry of deeds.
Basically, we're, still moving along. We definitely, our numbers are up. Even though, everyone talks how slow it is. We're not up by a lot, but maybe a couple hundred, so
Well,
that's good.
that's a sign.
I mean,
Oh,
there's no refis going on at this point.
No
Really?
need to explain.
No?
That's encouraging. I thought
So-
that was gonna pick up.
I know, well, we were all hoping, but the rates haven't come down, so,
I know.
Just leave them down.
you
Mike.
never know, it might come down.
Wilbur, leave them
But
laying
yeah,
down.
we're still trying to put out that message of
I
the
think Bobby
fraud,
Hoey broke them.
right, to sign up on our consumer notification program. I tell everyone all the time, even if I'm working at the restaurant, make sure you sign up for that. It's free and it's
Yep.
worth it. It's definitely, something everyone should have if you own property.
Yeah. Do you want to explain that to the? 'Cause-
The consumer notification, so it will protect you from, you sign up, if anything's ever recorded at the registry against your property, it generates an email that you will receive. So, it could, even if it was a discharge, we've had people call that they got the email and they were nervous, and it was just because they did take out, a home equity line. So they
Okay.
didn't realize that it would be a lien against their property, and so, but anything that's recorded in your name against the property, you'll get a generated email. So it's worth signing up if you're afraid of the fraud,
Well-
rather than signing up for that life lock or whatever
Or
it
whatever it
is.
is, right.
Property lock. Don't pay money, because we're doing it for free.
So now what do? They contact, do they do it?
They can go right to the website. It's massrods.com, and you click on Middlesex North, or depending on, if you're in South, you can sign up 3 pieces of property. So if you
Oh.
own multiple properties, you could sign up any rentals that are in your name. So
Why wouldn't anybody want to do that automatically?
they don't, well, either they
They don't know about it.
or
Right.
they've already signed up. A few people I've spoke to said they signed up for the life lock, so they're paying already. So I said cancel it and do ours.
Yeah, that's not a life.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's well worth it. Free, right? Free's for me,
Yeah,
and yeah, good stuff.
it is.
And we have these cards too that we're bringing to different towns. It's just about the homestead. We have the Homestead Act and about the fraud, so that
Okay.
people will have them.
Okay, I'll take some out to Tewksbury if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Now, I know that something that you've been interested in is having another office.
I
A
would love
satellite.
another office.
So how's that?
There's just, no money, of
Yeah.
course, right? But,
Because it's hard. Now, do you get out to the towns? How does that work for you now?
right, so, we just had these made. We're starting to get out, Artie and I, just to go, meet people, different people in the towns. But, at least, we're gonna drop these. That's
Yeah,
so,
the homestead. I've had you on several times. You homesteaded my house.
Yeah.
And it's very painless having it done.
Right.
And so
and it protects you up to $1 million. And it's not insurance. It's just helping you stay in your home in case you came into hard times. You couldn't pay some credit cards, or you have hospital bills. They can lien you. They can take you to court. You can have a lien against you. They just can't force the sale. So for $35,
it's worth it.
It is well worth it. It's that peace of mind, right?
Yeah, and it's and this protection also is definitely, because you see those ads and I'm, you know, people out
Absolutely.
there and they're saying, oh my God, everybody knows about AI, everybody knows about fraud, you know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I think that people don't know about the program, and that's,
So Karen, before you got here, we're talking about City of Lowell budgets and all that stuff. The budget for the Registry of Deeds, who makes it for your office?
Who makes
Who makes
it?
that budget up?
Well, it's based on, I would say, our needs and our salaries, and I'm this director. I would say
So you don't make,
Galvin's
you don't make the budget? The budget's handed to you?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm the one who, like, I have to put in right now exactly what I'm going to use for next year. What
How
I
much-
think I'm going to
How much
use.
copy toner you need, how much help you
Right.
need,
Yeah,
how many new office machines you
Salaries.
need?
right.
Gotcha.
So, and it's not changing. It's not, I mean, they'll give you our budget. The budget really has been the same, I would say, for pretty close to the same for 30 years. That's why we had 36 employees, now we have 10.
oh my.
So, but salaries are higher, right? Less employees, but salaries are higher. Because,
Benefits are better,
right? So,
because in your budget is retirement, sick days, all that good
Right,
stuff's in
yeah.
the budget.
yeah.
But you don't make the budget up, somebody else does.
Right.
And you can't speak to who.
Well, if I can ask for an increase, I just have to write a letter and, to the secretary,
Okay.
yeah, and let them know I need X amount of dollars. But, which, when I was trying to hire people, I did, speak to someone because their contract goes to 2027. So I said, based on the figures, their step increases, this is how much should be in my budget just to cover those, which isn't
right.
even what my budget is.
Can you drag that mic a little closer to you?
Sure.
Thanks.
You're right, because the step increases and the,
Right, that's all part
not
of,
by, you don't set them,
I don't.
and,
It's negotiated with the unions, which is fine, and I was on the other end of this. So, but that contract is till 2027. So they're getting, so if the employees get 2% January, 2% July, 2% next January, I need that money in the budget because the state has already signed it, right? They committed that this is what these,
So you give them
employees-
the ingredients for the budget and they approve it?
Well, sometimes they approve it, but,
Or they're gonna deny it?
right.
Now, how do they communicate they're gonna deny it to you? Or do
They'll
you just
tell
find out
me.
in the end?
Yeah, you'll find out in the end. They'll just say,
Surprise, we didn't give you that
right,
money.
you're
Wow.
not getting it. But again, how do these salaries get filled if you sign that contract?
They don't.
Well, then it will have to come out of another area in the budget. Right? Because they're not giving me any
all I
more
know is,
money.
if
That
my
is for
pocket
sure.
is small business,
Right.
if your pocket's empty, you just can't go back to the customer and say, "Come, write me a check for
Right,
another thing."
exactly. Oh, no, I get that. So,
and any program that you would possibly come up with that would bring money
Mhm.
into your, it doesn't go to your department,
No.
it goes to the state,
right.
so,
So the $35 I'm paying to protect my title goes to the state.
Right.
yeah, and she decides
Yeah.
what she's gonna do with it.
So,
Just like the marijuana money and all the other things that they say,
I
Oh,
know.
do this and,
Right.
it's all gonna come back, don't worry, it's all coming back
When
and,
those bills all get passed, they are supposed to be appropriated to certain areas, right?
Right.
You were mentioning this earlier, right? And 2-3 years later, that money is just going somewhere else.
well,
You know, it's like
because
supposed
they
to go for
passed
roads
legislation.
or
Right.
something, and then see you later. It's just
And they have to be generating so much money. Those,
Yes.
they're jammed.
Oh, yeah, but I know, and we went through it, we were one of the first in Tewksbury.
Right.
And part of it was that I remember all the debate and the meetings and the host, if you're a host community, you're gonna get, which they did. until,
It's gonna
Like
be
2 or
a
3 years later.
windfall for your town and.
then they take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They say, oh, and you don't even know about it. They do it down. They change the legislation. It's like the 40B. It
right,
makes me insane what they do with that, what they've done with it.
with the 40B.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen a
Is
big jump in people that are trying to get on that accessory dwelling unit by right? Like, do you see people?
Not a ton, no. I
wondered
don't
if
even
that
think,
would-
so we've had conversations about it, and I don't, to build a 900 square foot unit on your property is not going to generate you any money. Because how are you gonna pay for that? And the rent, what would the rent be? $2,000 or more? How is that affordable?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Someone told me, it would cost close to $300,000 to build a small dwelling on your property. So how is that affordable?
How is that cost effective?
Right, how do you rent that to someone?
Yeah.
No thanks, like,
It's-
it just won't work.
I-
Not now, everything's just so high for building products and stuff. It's
Well, the
just-
only, with how they sell that is they say, well, you get your parents to sell their house and we'll build you.
Two houses.
We'll build the 900 square foot for you and
Right,
you'll give
right,
us
right.
the
I
money
get
that
you,
you get for
yeah.
your house.
Yeah.
Right,
So was all the arguing over that a little, maybe overblown? Because it seems like it's a unique situation that it ends up working out for somebody
for
to
certain
do something
people,
like that.
but
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I think I see in the, they're getting variances for if they had a 4-family, now they're converting it to a 6-family. I see a lot of that going on,
Really?
yeah?
So it affects
So,
it
it's,
affects the size of
exactly,
the regular
Yeah.
dwelling space
Right.
also? Wow.
so, and then again, parking becomes an issue, right?
Well, yeah, I think it was for the student rentals, a
Right,
big part of it.
Lenny, want to do these?
If Sakari Chow was elected Register of Deeds, he would probably still run for state senate, state rep, city council, dog catcher, PTO, director, president of pothole committee, etc. But, Mr. Dillon, couldn't your analogy about a coach be applied to the city manager? He is the manager, AKA the head coach, and for the team to succeed and win, we all listen to the coach. Manager Tom Golden is acting like a hard-ass coach who is focused strictly on the final score, a balanced city budget.
Now, this is from yesterday. Marty
Yeah, no,
Laurie
forget that.
had texted in to use, that I could okay to use his name, and I attributed the wrong text. Marty said nothing about the manager's office yesterday, so I just want to put my apology out there to my friend Marty that I misquoted him yesterday. Back over to you, Lynn.
Oh, okay. Well, any, did you?
well, I was gonna say that, I was listening to the meeting a little bit last night, and they were talking about the tax liens not being recorded. So, I was looking those up yesterday because Sean mentioned a few things about the tax takings. And City of Lowell has not filed one tax taking in 2025 and 2026 yet.
Administration's doing fantastic, aren't they?
Well, they did say that there's some type of a case that was brought down from the Supreme Court, so they were nervous about that. But why would that prevent you from at least
Because we
recording that
have a law
lien?
department that likes to cave. That's why we have a law department that doesn't want to fight. They want to cave.
They,
Is that the case around? Because I know a lot of tax collectors through work I've done, and some were very, very active on filing that lien, and some were like, it's a lot of work and doesn't ever result in
right.
a fruitful ending. So is
Well, I
that,
think
like,
right now,
normal,
yeah, that's
or-
the case because they're saying that Supreme Court, if you owe $300,000, I mean, if you have a house for $300,000, but you have $25,000 in debt, you can recoup that 25, but is it the right for the city to take that $275 because you didn't pay a tax? So they're trying. That's the issue, but to at least record that lien, it shows you didn't pay your taxes, and you start increasing this. They charge you that percentage. I don't know. I think they were saying last night it was 14%. interest.
Yeah.
So why not start grabbing that as well? You're not paying your tax. Some of those liens are from 1970. So why is everyone else in the city paying their taxes
Right.
if nothing's going to be done? What's the point? You're going to raise them. People
Yeah.
can't afford them.
Right.
But if you don't pay them, you're not doing anything about it. How does that make any sense?
That was an interesting topic that
Right?
you brought up, I know.
It doesn't even, like, what are we doing?
It sounded like the end result was that it costs money. You have to spend money to make money.
Right.
And they're not willing to do that right now. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, they've always recorded tax liens.
Well, I'm shocked to hear that. I just assumed they did.
Right. I don't know why. I know that that's what they, I'm not sure.
I was
Yeah,
under the assumption
solicitor?
that somebody was going to come and take my house from me if I didn't
too.
pay my
Yeah.
taxes, but
Me
I guess
too.
it doesn't sound like that's the case.
Never mind.
I mean, everybody else in the city is pretty scared of that
Right.
situation.
Well, most people are, but,
It's interesting to hear that.
right?
Doesn't
it
seem
would-
like there are large repercussions from it. I mean,
Right. And it would be good if this, maybe the city could, what they should do, if you're not paying your tax, especially from there's so many old liens, take a ride by. Is the house, does it exist? Who's living in it?
Oh, my
Like,
goodness.
let's figure this out, right? There's tons of money right there.
Oh, I'm sure there's certain landlords that are just notorious, that just don't
Right.
pay them.
And there are open lots too, or it said unknown owner, which that was brought up too. But if you have an unknown owner, let's get rid of that lot. If no one lives there, the city now,
Owns them.
right,
A
if
lot.
you don't know who it is, take
And you
it.
can't collect for it.
Right.
Why would you just, well, it's costing you money to keep rolling it over. Why
Right.
would, that doesn't make any
I
sense.
know, I don't get it.
So
It makes no sense to me, but I was thinking, I'm like, that,
perhaps I'd like to call you in and discuss it with you.
right? I know, it's crazy. I ran so many reports just to kind of take a look at what other towns are doing, and I did notice that other towns in 25, they kind of stopped. 24 they did record, but 25 as well. Bill
Tingsboro's not
Ricker,
looking very good there.
nope, Bill Ricker and Chelmsford and Drake are the only three that really started recording them. Everyone else is pretty much letting it sit. I don't know why. Because of this Supreme Court case. I'm gonna talk, we share a break room with the law library.
Yeah.
And there's a few attorneys in there, so I'm gonna talk to a few today just
Yeah.
to see what their take is on this case that,
I would like to think it's just not just lack of interest.
right?
Or, you know, isn't in my job description or something.
yeah, is that not typical? I mean,
It's not
for-
typical,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, no,
It's odd to
we
see a
always
couple
like,
of
because
years.
they give us notice. We'll be coming down on what day works for you, because usually there's a stack.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're not seeing anybody.
So there's clearly something,
Something's
whether
going
it's the
on.
court case or what,
Right.
something is
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
holding people back from recording.
Well,
So
the
we-
Chelmsford tax collector, he's right on the ball
Yeah.
all the time. He's now the new assistant or interim manager, so
Right.
we'll give him his props this morning
Yeah.
Well,
as
to
well.
think that in 2023, they recorded 478 tax takings in Lowell.
Wow. Okay.
24,
So-
221, and 2025, 0. 2026, 0.
Something changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's,
what exactly was the lawsuit?
right.
Is it relevant? Is it something that they're gonna lose?
I don't know. We're gonna have to look into it. but,
Yes. Someone
But I
is.
did notice, like, I was kind of looking at different parcels, and I noticed one on Pleasant Street off of Roger Street, and it's just like a piece of land. So we should have just taken that,
Yeah,
right?
because you're generating a
And then
bill,
sell-
you
Right, and you
an
could sell
assessment,
it.
yeah.
Someone could have, and there's another piece of property to rent.
Yeah.
Right? We have
Well,
to
you
be
want to get
there.
it back on the tax roll. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
best you
what I
can, right?
mean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's so many different, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why wouldn't you at least look around and go see who's living in these properties that are not paying, some of these liens are $300,000. Imagine?
Wow.
Oh, I can see that.
Well, yeah, he said Sean had a number at
12
12.1
million,
million
yeah.
or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
total.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, he's
Non-paid
certainly,
taxes, wow.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh, well, after.
that could
Might
help
solve a
out the
few
city.
budget.
Yeah,
It's
There
understandable.
it is. There's some of the.
It's understandable for one reason or another why you wouldn't recoup all
Right.
12.1, but
right.
you could take a chunk, even a chunk of that is
Right.
a big deal. I mean,
Well,
It would help the city tremendously.
Well, just the cost of generating the bloody bills and not, with no intent of ever collecting anything.
Well, and the other thing is, when they record the lien, but usually the homeowner is the one who would record the redemption. They have to, they should, I would think. Why would the city have to pay for the release?
Yeah.
But, and then that was another one of our ideas at the registry, to have them do the e-file. So rather than the homeowner go pay their taxes, get that release, and have to come to the registry, they could just pay the city the $105, and then they could just e-file it. So
No.
we know it's on record, we know it's released. It would make things a lot easier for the homeowner,
Yeah.
so. But those are some ideas. But I'd like to take a little ride by a few of these properties to see what's going on.
yeah,
Why
even
they're-
just because of the curiosity.
That's
factor.
really
Yeah.
it. I'm like, why
Yeah.
is this just sitting there?
I don't know. That's an interesting, particularly when they're talking about shortfalls and budgets and where we're going to cut and it's.
Sean McDonough's digging deep.
He's
I
digging
guess
deep.
so, huh?
He's had several, just over the last week, several points like that.
Very
he's-
basic.
That he's looked
Common
at
sense.
the budget, looked at the money, and said, "What is this?" And they've been interesting. you know?
Yeah.
Right, right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I just find that appalling night because I'm looking at all the zeros on your
I
sheet.
know.
And
I was shocked.
yeah, it's when we think about and just the open space, the issue of the open space.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
we'll
hope
be heading
somebody's
over,
listening.
we're going over to the court today, the old courthouse. Artie's gonna be over there.
is the auction?
The auction's
Cool.
June 10th, but we
Okay.
had so much stuff still over there.
Oh,
That
you're
was-
still getting out of there, huh?
Yeah, so they're going over again.
Records. What?
It's all old documents, just stuff we don't need, that we've already scanned, it's been stored.
From the 1600s.
Yeah, old stuff.
Oh, that's
Well,
kinda-
we did have an archivist come in, because I wasn't sure exactly what I should keep, because some of those books were so old.
Mm-hmm.
And, they went through everything, and they took what we should, and, our stuff, and,
And where is that? Is that in your office or is it
No.
Stone Mountain or wherever we
Yeah,
send
exactly.
the documents
Yes,
to?
that's where it is.
That mystery place.
I know, never to be seen again.
Yeah, I did. Well,
But they
Where
took
is-
everything,
yeah.
it's not, my responsibility, but now it's just shredding all the old stuff, so.
Yeah.
So they're having a truck come in today.
do towns still send their stuff to be shredded too?
I think actually the courthouse, there's a truck that does come, we don't use it, but the court does, and they take stuff to be shredded, so. I have shredders in the office, so anything,
Yeah. I
like
do
that,
too.
we just shred,
Well, but the amount of paper that the state makes you move,
right?
any department is just, it's criminal. Talk about wasting trees.
Right? Exactly.
It's just, it boggles my mind, where could they possibly be putting all this paper?
Mhm.
That, I know in the housing you have to generate, it's useless.
And then I gotta barge in and do some announcements here, so
Okay.
be back in about 60 seconds to you guys. The Transfiguration Grecian Festival is this weekend, so take your fancy phone out of your pocket, take a picture of this slide that tells you what time, where to go, and if you like Greek food, you need to head over to the Transfiguration Grecian Festival this weekend for a good time, and take a picture of this slide, please, and you can know when to show up. What happened to the rest of my little messages? Okay, there's gonna be a parade. Portuguese community is gonna have a little parade on Douglas Road, Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. Starts at Douglas Road in Wynwood, and they end at Holy Ghost. They'll have a lot of tasty Portuguese food there. Hope to see you over there. Now, I gotta move this guy here, was last night. So today is the 27th. So if you're 60 years old, you could go have a dandy lunch at the Lowell Senior Center of chicken breast. Just get over there around 10:30. Plank down your $2. If you don't have the $2, it's free. So just head over there for around 10:30. John Drinkwater's having a party, and it's going to be June 1st at the Old Court. Be there or be square. A campaign kickoff party, and I had there's Brady McCarron. Brady McCarron, he's having a party the middle of June at the Wappin Left. We'll talk more about that as it gets closer. And we got the grand opening of Clemente Park is this weekend. I'm sorry, Saturday, June 6th, that's next weekend. And it's the North Common, Fletcher Street, 10 a.m., and they're going to have a baseball game, so good luck to them. And this is more about the Greek Festival. It's June 12th to 14th. This is the other Greek church, Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church. They're going to have their party, their celebration June 12th. So coming up in a couple of weeks. So back to you, Lynn. Thank you for your patience.
Oh. When did the Spinners open?
Was it
Tonight, I
this weekend? Or I would say this week, maybe?
I'll look it up, but I think it's tonight.
I know, yeah, it might be,
They've been peddling
it's
tickets.
the next couple of days. I know there's a game the 29th. I don't know if they have a game before then, but, yeah.
Can we
Soon.
go back to the liens? Because I'm sure the insurance companies they're not lax in making sure they put a lien on you for healthcare. Now, is it timestamp issue
For the
for
homestead?
liens? If somebody, is it an order? Is it a timestamp order, or is it?
Like if you have multiple liens on your property,
Yeah.
who gets first? No, I think there's
Right.
a pecking order, right?
Well, I mean, whoever recorded first, I would
Well,
think,
so it
right?
is. So
But I
what
thought
I'm saying is the
like
city
I
is
thought at one point like there was an order. So like if it was property taxes, that comes off before.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Like the mortgage company or something, like if you've defaulted
Well,
on
if
your
you have
mortgage and stuff,
taxes, they can foreclose, they can supersede the mortgage.
But
For
like
taxes, for condo fees.
right.
Things
So
like
if
that, yeah.
the property is auctioned,
Yeah.
there's a pecking order of who gets
Right,
paid
right.
first.
But it sounds like they're not gonna be able to foreclose now. That's with the tax title issue. So I
That's what
think
the
that's
law
what's
says.
preventing them from recording, but if the money's in the budget, record them, because at least the homeowners, it makes them more aware, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pay my taxes. Maybe they'll call them and make a deal and even work something out. But by not doing anything, why would you,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
And
So.
it's
I mean, you wouldn't be able to buy a vehicle or, it's going to affect your credit if you have liens against you.
well, there it is, right there.
So just to
there's-
record it for the 105, if you owe thousands of dollars, it's worth it for the city to try to recoup anything. Or a payment plan.
And then I got 2 texts for you to read.
No one wastes more paper on money than government. That's so true. Oh, hey, Mark. Good morning, everyone. Great show. Sending greetings from Oz. Yes. See, you even had good weather, I hear, and you were able to get your Memorial Day services all
Right.
taken care of when everybody else was struggling. It was very wet.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, this weekend,
Yeah.
past
Good morning.
weekend.
It poured. Tingsboro's just poured.
Right.
Very good.
I guess we need
Well, I saw a video from Tingsboro. You guys did get drenched.
I haven't to water my lawn.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
I haven't even put the sprinklers on.
No.
It's been raining every day, every other day.
Right.
And they say we're in a drought.
I know.
It's interesting. I think Boston's in worse of a drought than Worcester. So I was like, has it rained more in Worcester? Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like we had an awful lot of rain. Every weekend we were having rain. So,
Right.
Anyway. So,
Right.
again, just mention this again about the protection for people.
Yep, so there's, we have the Homestead Act, if you haven't filled one out. You can come into the office, we have forms, we have notaries, and we can help you, fill the form out. If you already have one, and you are over 62, you can actually file 2 separate homesteads, because that would protect you for $1 million each. So it becomes $2 million protection against your property. And with the price of, right, homes today,
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do. And then there's the consumer notification that we offer. It's on our website, and that will generate the emails if anything was to get recorded against your property. So you can do that yourself. If you have a hard time, give us a call. We'll have some of the employees will walk you through how to handle the form online. But it's really something everyone should do. It's free and it works, so it's well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go back to those liens. Then all these credit scores that everybody's so concerned, they're not
Right.
very relevant if it doesn't even list, if the communities haven't put the liens in
Right,
their
for those
taxes.
liens, exactly.
Because could be a very hefty.
Right,
Hard
but we
to
do
feel-
see the sheriff is in every day. So we went through times where, like during COVID, we hardly saw her. But now she's back. So she's dropping every day. We get liens. And those are mainly credit card liens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
They're going to go.
So that's the other thing with the
Did you say
homestead.
sheriff and use the word she? Who's the?
I know, well, it's the
Who's the
deputy
sheriff?
sheriff.
Oh,
It's
deputy sheriff.
yeah.
Understood better. Thank you.
So she's the recorder. She's the one who comes
Okay.
in to record, yeah. But, what was I just gonna say about those, credit cards?
Oh, that they make sure they get their liens.
Well, that's why you should have a homestead, because if you are falling in some hard times, we all know the interest rates are high. If you have the homestead and you're brought to court and the judge issues that lien, at least you have the homestead that protects you from that lien for now. It's
Yeah.
going to, it will ruin your credit, right? But you can stay in your home, you have kids, it's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah. You're not
At
on
that
the
point,
street.
until you can get yourself together and get things going again, so. It's worth it, and then we have that consumer notification, so those 2 things alone, everyone in this county should have.
Well, and I appreciate, I know you're out there all the time. You're very visible, because people aren't aware of these things.
Right.
It's just, I know people that have seen that ad and they automatically make sure they have to get
Right.
protection.
Well, it's so, I know, you see it, you're like, ooh,
How could that be?
right? And we, we do have so all the registries, we work together. We just got something that showed us this notary from South Carolina. And we are not to take anything, because someone actually made a stamp in her name. So they've had they've been
Oh, my.
rejected, because one thing was recorded, but something was they were trying to record in South, and it was rejected because we have it. Every employee has it right on their computer or in their cubicle, so we catch it quick.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I mean, things like that are out there. And I know the state was working on some type of database to be able to check notaries, so we could see if that was a legal notary, but it's not how
Yeah.
the government works, it's slow. But they're working on it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, yeah, they should definitely sign up for the consumer notification.
I got this comment from Tingsboro, and we got some pictures of their.
Tewksbury still has the best town manager, even when it rains in your parade.
And here is a picture of Memorial Day in Tingsboro, and they certainly did get wet.
Yeah.
This is on the bridge. What do they toss a wreath in the
They
water?
throw a wreath over.
Yeah.
And this is off the Tingsboro Bridge. Then they had another service at the
goes.
cemetery,
Yeah, we went to 5 different cemeteries.
and
Is
it
that-
poured.
Wow.
Lucky you had your umbrellas, tons of umbrellas.
It's Chris.
And we're in the town center, yeah.
That makes it a little easier with all the.
Not a bad turnout for such a rainy day, Lynn. Congratulations.
Yes, and at that particular time, it was pouring.
We were wet.
So you did go this year.
I did. Former Selectman Walton and I go every year. That's our tradition.
That's nice. I always recommend to people go at least once and see it because it's very moving and it's. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody what they're teaching in schools these days, Mike. What's happening with our education? I haven't even got you off on that. I usually have you.
Right. And he has the small kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think about it every day.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need a lot more than 23 minutes to
I
talk
know.
about everything that's wrong with education right now. But
Well, I have to say, my grandchildren are in New Hampshire, and they still are being tested, and I'm kind of happy. I just see a concept of history coming out of them, and they're young, that they're aware, and I don't know what's going on in all
we
the
didn't-
communities.
We voted to get rid of the AMCAS, but something replaced it. It wasn't like there's no test anymore.
Right.
There's still something. It's just not the
I would
AMCAS,
hope.
right? Like,
I think they're still taking MCAS. It's just
They-
it's not a graduation
rebranded.
requirement.
Oh.
That's right.
Right.
You
That's-
don't
that's
need to
what got taken
graduate,
away.
right? That was the
Yeah.
only change.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You
I knew there was some test still being given.
You can still get your diploma.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. So.
if you don't pass.
But anyway, now when are the graduations? Anybody know when the high school graduations are coming up?
Well, Lowell Catholic graduated last Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
early.
It was usually the first Friday in June.
Yeah, because the college ones have just been recently,
Mm-hmm.
the last weekend or so. And-
Yeah, the college ones are all happening.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah,
be
that
close.
I don't know.
Came quick.
yes. Well,
It always does, right?
because we
Don't
didn't
you
have a
think?
spring. We had no.
No, you're
spring.
right. I know. We're like just starting to feel like the summer weather right now, and or spring weather right now.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
you're getting snow in April, it's not a good sign.
Right?
Makes people very grumpy.
I
So
know.
It hasn't been a good spring. But anyway.
I think people were putting their heat on last week. I
Oh,
wouldn't.
I did.
I wouldn't.
I've had my pellet stove on, which is kind of depressing. So, but it's so extreme. You go from like 40 to 90.
Right, exactly.
It was bizarre.
A little heat's nice on a cold day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So anything else new? I think that's huge. These two programs. But
Yeah,
so you're busy.
yeah, we've been just, I mean, there's been a few problems with our indexes on the website, so everyone needs to be a little patient. The state is aware of it, and they're working on it. I try to tell anyone who emails, if you need it, I can check, I can pull the book, I can check, get a copy and email it to them of the index that they're looking for. But somehow when we did a software upgrade
Yeah.
on the website, the indexes just didn't transfer over correctly. So there's a few glitches they're working out, and that's with the state and ACS. That is the software company that we use. So
Who is that affecting? Is that affecting?
well, title examiners, if they're doing searches, or any homeowner that's doing a search,
okay.
there are records on there, but instead of having so somebody was running the city of Lowell.
Yeah.
Well, that's huge, right? So from 1966 to 75, you could have 100 pages. And if you look on our website, I think we had 50 or 20. It was just, so I told her, I can narrow it down. I tried to email her because I have the indexes on my computer.
Oh.
But it was just such an abundance of info, it wouldn't go through. It kept coming back to me.
Ah.
So, but if she wanted to narrow that down, I could, scan
Okay.
it and email it to her that way, or just get that criteria and send it over. So
The scanning, isn't that amazing? I just love scanning.
I do too.
That's huge as far as all the paper movement.
Right,
and then you don't have to actually make the paper,
exactly.
so.
Yeah,
think
I
that's-
love the scanning. That's what I do. I scan everything over to the state.
Yeah.
It's easy. But yeah, that's it. That's all that's going
Um,
on. Getting rid of all the boxes today and
And the auction is the 10th.
June 10th. Yep.
And does anybody know, is there much interest? Have they?
I
anybody
don't know.
put
I
up
mean, not only do they get the court in that, there's that lot behind
the
it.
parking?
Yeah. I mean, I was saying that lot alone, what if you could build a huge, like little, like a complex of multi-units.
Yeah.
But do a garage under, because there is no parking, because that thing's full, and there's
Yeah,
no reason for it to be, because it's the courts.
yeah.
So if there's 23 cars over there,
But you only need, what, a half a car per unit?
when it's close enough to the train station, I don't get it.
What's,
I just
what's
saw
the
that.
number?
You could sell some spots to the people at Heinz's.
Right? Yeah, really.
Right.
But you would think, though, that builder should be looking for that, because
Yeah.
there's like nowhere to even move on that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not.
But
And Hillary, your business is almost a year old?
Yeah, in June, so we're excited. It's,
How
What
do
is
you
it?
like being in private business?
you know, it was, talking to someone the other day, you know, it's one of those, because I worked from home during COVID for a similar business, so I'm in association management, so professional society management, that, you know, I think I have a good, or I had a good rhythm of, you know, kind of setting those boundaries of, I have an home office, so I can step out of the office, so to speak, and it's not my kitchen table. I found, you know, there's times this year where I'm like, okay, well, I gotta work for my clients and I gotta work on my business, so and then I'm like, no, I still need, you know, 5 minutes to go outside. Like yesterday, I was like, you know what, I need a screen break, so I just went and sat on my deck for, 10 minutes and breathed some fresh air. So it gets challenging at times like that, but, you know, very rewarding. Have my second full-time employee, so.
Good.
nice.
Completely off topic this morning is the Lowell School Committee is debating a dress code for teachers.
I saw that a couple weeks ago too, I think, or last week maybe.
Should teachers be able to wear their pajamas to school? Should they hit the dirty clothes hamper before they go to school? I mean, women always dress nice, guys don't. Guys are bad. So I'd get another day out of this shirt. It smells not so bad. And
But is
girls
the
don't
issue,
do that stuff.
is the issue, what's the issue? Is the issue they're not wearing appropriate clothing in that, the style and,
Well, see, I think a
function, or
male
is
school
it-
male school teacher should be in a dress shirt with a tie. That's what I think and a female school teacher should have a pants outfit that looks nice enough to go to church, but workable.
Why does the school committee get to weigh in on that?
Because
Isn't that just something the superintendent can do?
but isn't it policy?
I don't know, Mike, but the thing with
Yes, but-
because the teacher is the icon for the children of the future. So children sees, well, the teacher wears pajamas to school. I'll wear pajamas to work too. How do you want our workforce to look in 20 years? Wearing
But is it
pajamas?
an
or-
elementary school teacher that is a theme day, again, is it they're wearing inappropriate style clothing or inappropriate clothing?
Hillary, I know enough to be dangerous. I just picked this article off the front page of the Sun, and Melanie
I
Gilbert
do agree
wrote
with
it.
you. I think it's a personnel issue that the superintendent should handle. I don't see why the school committees.
Or principals?
Motion
Yes.
fails to police T-shirts and shorts in the classroom.
It's just gonna turn into a sideshow if you're talking about it in the chambers. Because everybody's got some sort of exception, and then you're just arguing about exceptions. How did Brian Martin do it? Brian Martin came in and, I mean, the teachers bickered about it a little bit, but I don't know. I
They
think
put
he
their
just,
ties on.
I think he just was heavy-handed with his approach and said, no, do it.
He was successful. Yeah.
Right?
You're working for me. This is how you're going to dress, or
Yeah, I
you'll
think
be
that's
inter-
a principle thing, though.
you're going to be
or a
disappointed in the
superintendent.
consequences.
Well, I always found issues like that too. Is there one or two people that are not being appropriate or whatever the term is, and so you address it with them, or, or is it a systemic problem?
It could
'Cause
also
if
be
it's a
over
systemic
time,
problem,
yeah.
let's not, waste the same amount of time. If it's one or two people, have that conversation with
Right,
them.
exactly.
Yeah.
And take care of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think society gets away from that. They don't want to,
Single anybody out.
Well, just looking at our
which
school
seems
committee
to be-
itself.
I know.
This is the elected school committee at Lowell right now. Let's imagine them in a t-shirt and shorts. Do they look the part? Oh, wait a second, it's not up on your screen, sorry. Press the button a bunch of more times. Get over there, okay, good. Would it be better if they wore shorts? And a t-shirt?
Right.
What would you think of them then? Don't they look the part? I tell my Undertaker buddies who wear a t-shirt, I says, you gotta dress the part, buddy, you gotta look like Undertaker.
Right.
Well, that was an arguation. Not that any of them I addressed inappropriately, but that was an arguation day. Everybody was going to look good that day.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody wants to see Dave Conway in shorts, let's admit it, I just think it's a good idea. If they're wearing shorts to school, it's gotta be policed.
Well, you
Right.
just mentioned wear what you'd wear to church. Have you been to church lately?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know how it is in Lowell,
they're
but
not wearing their jammies.
Mm,
Oh, in suburbia.
In suburbia. I know at Immaculate they're not wearing pajamas.
oh, of course not. Not immaculate. How's the gym going?
Good.
How
Great.
busy?
Flipping out. Yeah.
Do you have
Yep.
different programs in the summer now? And gearing up for the summer?
Yeah, we sort of gear down a little bit during the summer, but we
Oh.
still have morning activities going on all the time. Slightly less team, like the team season for the competitive kids
Yeah.
sort of just wrapped up. Actually, we're performing at the Spinners coming up on June 6th.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So our team kids will be performing there. And we do it from time to time. We've done at the arena for certain things like before ULOL events. And so before the game on the 6th, we'll be our kids will be out on the field and showing off their skills.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good. It's new routine for the kids. They get out there and they love it. I mean, it's more of a laid back performance than like the competition where you got to have toes pointed and
Right,
right.
right.
Everything's got to be perfect. But it's like the whole team gets out there and kind of shows off, and it's nice for them.
Now, when I was, obviously many years ago, gymnastics, it's all changed since, because the Americans weren't even competitive back in.
Oh yeah.
And
On the national, international level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what age do you start? Because my granddaughter plays lacrosse, and I see all these little girls doing cartwheels all over the place, and it's adorable. But they obviously are going to a class somewhere to.
Yeah.
Because, so what age do they start? Are you seeing them once they're toddlers or?
Well, with gymnastics, I always tell people always give me the wrestling question because I've coached wrestling in the past. Like, when should I get my kid wrestling? And I always tell them that the best route for your kid, no matter what activity they're going to do, is put them in gymnastics as early as possible and as often as possible, at least until they're, start them wrestling when they're 7 or 8.
Really?
Because you know that there's this line that, 6 is the absolute minimum before team sports are really even beneficial for kids, because my 6-year-old started playing softball for her first year, and I took a video of her on the field the other day, 30 seconds long. 2 at-bats happened, and she was just spinning in circles out in the field.
There's always that one
2
kid
at-bats had happened, and the play ended, and she was just doing circles.
Yeah.
And she's athletic, but she's just not interested,
That's
and she's
right.
not
Right.
there yet. But so whatever sport you want your kid to play, gymnastics builds a base for everything.
Okay.
It's everything at that lower age group. I see it with my kids, just because they've been in the gym from a young age, and jump on a trampoline every day. Their balance and everything benefits from it. It's, they get body awareness and learn how to roll, and you learn how to fall. Learning how to fall.
I wish I knew learned that.
you really, that's something that is an important skill to develop.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a room where everything is soft and you have the ability to fall without seriously hurting yourself, you learn a little bit about injury prevention just for like natural reaction.
Never thought about it, but it seems so basic.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, we're working with kids right now, kids in disability sports.
Yep.
Every spring we have a session, 6-week session, I believe. So I think last Sunday was our first class with kids. They came in, and we have our gymnasts and any volunteers come in and help out. And we had good showing of volunteers last week. I mean, we had almost 1-to-1
Wow.
coach to the kids, and they love it. The adaptive kids. They love everything that they do, any activities that happen.
Oh,
for them,
yeah.
But they love the gymnastics.
And it's, I commend you because I raise money for kids in disability sports, and it's a joy to watch them.
It is.
They-
They
They
you
just
put them in
love
a
what
gym, and they love it,
Yeah.
bouncing around, and
Right.
it's great for them too. The learning how to fall thing,
That's-
especially for kids with disabilities, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Because, and so getting them into the gym it's nothing but beneficial.
You
for
you
them.
need to
So,
have a class for us older people to learn how to fall.
we
Maybe
have
we'd have less broken hips.
we have adult gymnastics classes.
Oh,
So,
no kidding.
Toddler to yourself if you'd like to.
That'd be a little
Show up.
The
embarrassing.
last text of the day.
Can they tear the old courthouse down, or do they have to rehab it? Great show today.
From what I was told, it's too expensive to rehab the building to bring it up to code, and that's its biggest problem. It has gigantic rooms, high ceilings, and it has to be handicap accessible, which it is not, and that's going to be the big issue. It's going to cost a
Right,
lot
but
of money.
there
to do
is
that.
a historical section, that brick part in the back, in
Yeah.
the parking lot. So I don't know, they'll have to get some type of, I don't know what they can do with that.
That seems to be the case with a lot of buildings.
If they
like
can't
that.
make it handicap accessible,
Right.
what
Because
are
they did put an elevator in there.
the elevator does not go to the parking lot level. It only starts from the first floor and
Right,
goes up.
exactly. No,
That was
I
a
get
dumb
that.
thing on the state's part. They had that elevator put in during weekends.
Right, I remember that.
At
I was
nighttime.
there.
The judge said, I want no noise in my courthouse. The hell with the neighborhood. So they were out there with jackhammers at 3 o'clock in the morning. Crazy.
Yeah, I
Well,
know,
Isn't that always the way?
right.
No, the judge shouldn't have had that power to do that. Just,
But it's what they do. It's what they do.
I understand. Well, see, I think Massachusetts, what we should be able to do is reaffirm the judge they send us. I think the community should vote on, okay, we like Judge Linda Bown, but we hate Judge Mike Dillon. So we want to keep Linda. She's reaffirmed. And Mike does not get reaffirmed. He gets sent back to the judge pool in Boston. They kick him out of Lowell. I think that's what they should do. But they're not asking me. So.
Well, no, it's pretty subjective too. There's a reason we don't ask you those things and allow you permission.
Well, that's why we have judges that don't send anybody to jail.
It is a bit chaotic.
Right.
I just, that's too late in the day to even discuss that because I don't understand why anybody would want criminals.
On the street,
Yeah,
I know.
just yeah. They must be in some special bubble that they're well protected because it's affecting all of us.
It's a lot of money in it.
Right.
Yes, there is.
Crime pays.
Well, I'm very excited to hear you have gymnastics for seniors.
Right.
Yeah. Adult gymnastics is, I'm not sure if it's Tuesdays or Thursdays right now, but it's on the website, flippingoutgymnastics.com.
And you're in
you can always-
Drake, right?
Yeah, Beaverbrook Mill.
Right.
I could
so
almost
my
walk
granddaughter
there.
was going there.
Oh, yeah.
Sophia.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
she was there, I think, every Saturday at around 11 or 10. 10
Awesome.
or 11, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, really every age group We have adaptive classes for kids with disabilities all year round, but right now we're working with kids in particular. And team, so whether you're, competitiveness is high and you want to be on the team, or just weekly classes.
Well, the following in the balance, I imagine you see balance is a big issue as they get older.
Time is running
Yeah,
short.
especially for the
Tomorrow's City
real-
Life. We're going to
really
have
young
Evelyn Thorne's going to be the host. Colin Miller's coming along with Sam Chase. That's
Oh,
tomorrow's
Colin.
City Life. Back to you, Lynn, and time is short.
Well,
You got
I want
2
to thank
minutes.
you all for getting up.
Of
Thank
course, thanks for
Hillary
having
and
us.
Mike for getting up special early for me and keeping the conversation going. Very interesting, by the way. It always is. I like having you both on, and of course, thank you. And you always have something new that's. And we talked about this when you were running. People don't know what the Registry of Deeds does.
Right.
It's just one of those things and so you brought it to the forefront, and people are seeing that it really is in their best interest more than a lot of government programs.
Right,
And
right.
departments, so
Well, it's funny too, I just had an email yesterday about an easement. So someone wanted me to run and search 2 different properties, they're looking for this easement, and I said, we just don't do title searches. We have the records there. If she was in the office, we'd show her how to use the computer and what she needs to do.
Yeah,
So, but we don't run titles
yeah,
for, anybody.
yeah.
So,
Well, easement, we see that a lot in conservation, people.
right. Yeah, someone was calling
oblivious.
too about one on Willowdale.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
Willdale, I know exactly.
Oh, you know who it is.
I know exactly what there's been a problem.
All right. But I found, so 19, I think it was
Eight.
19, I found it's on a deed. So that's the other part of looking for easements. If they're on the deed itself, you just have to keep going back and running every owner and checking all those deeds back to I think this one was 1937.
Yeah,
It was
that makes
old.
sense. Oh, yeah, when
Yeah.
the lake was,
But
there
it was
an
on the
amusement
deed.
park back there. It
And
was
they
all
were-
camp.
It said it had to be left open.
We're
And
out
I
of
think-
time, kids. This is
Right.
the Tewksbury
you.
Memorial Day Parade we're
Oh,
looking at here.
okay.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for
All
watching.
right.
Thanks
have
for
a good
watching.
day.
Thank you.
Really commended for what they do.
We have this young man, he's serious about this.
Yes.
He's marching in the parade.
Yes, absolutely. We have
Nothing's
another
stopping
scouting
him.
troop coming by us now. This young man in the
Probably said
scouting
to
hat, the blue
catch up
jacket,
and-
he is very serious
Oh,
about
he's after the candy.
Yes,
He
about
wants
his
to throw
job.
candy. Well, look
Wanna
at, they
say hi
even
to
have
all the
little
scouts out
flags
there?
they can pass out. Even some Girl Scouts.
We got some a Girl Scout troop coming by us now. Tewksbury Baldwin Girl Scout Brownies. They have 50 to 70 young Girl Scouts in their troop.
That is great.
Look at all the girls in their troop. That's wonderful. And again, the women who participate, who do all this, they,
Sweetheart.
look at, she's
She's
adorable.
shy, very shy.
Very shy, right? Very shy. We want to thank the women the moms who participate. It's a lot of work raising these girls and helping them grow into womanhood.
Oh, sure.
And we've got the rest of the Girl Scout troop coming by us. Hello, girls. Hello, Girl Scouts.
Wow, this is a whole wagon.
Now
filled
we have
with
the
candy.
Dance Expressions group coming by us. We have a dance troupe coming by, Tewksbury Dance Troupe. Look at them. Hi,
Dance
everyone.
Expressions.
Look at, they are ready to dance. Everybody has their hair done up nice.
Recitals, dance recitals, but they are quite the event.
Tewksbury Youth Soccer League is coming up next. Hey, everybody. Give us all a big wave. Tewksbury Youth Soccer League. Yeah. Oh. Get a lollipop, Judy.
Right here, orange one. Right here.
Tewksbury Youth Soccer League.
Oh boy, we have the state troopers on the horseback.
Now we have some Massachusetts state troopers on horseback. A horse left a little bit of a presence on the roadway. So,
Oh, and yep,
Yeah.
they left a little something.
yeah, horse left a little present on the
Oh, and
roadway.
then the poor kids that have to walk.
I know.
Well, hopefully they're paying attention when they're walking.
And now we have.
To have a song that went to
We
this
have the
music.
Lions Club.
Oh, he's putting low.
Those
The
are
Lions
1776, America 2026, our 250th birthday. Happy birthday, America.
Oh, I like her umbrella.
And we have new image coming by us, decorated his truck.
I like it.
Memorial Day.
Yay, thank you.
Judy, get some candy.
Thank you.
And a bracelet. Yay! Now, who's this coming by? Oh my gosh, this is a hockey league. Yeah. The Tewksbury Redmen coming
no,
by
no,
us.
no,
Okay,
no.
everybody wave. Tewksbury Redmen. Yay, wave. Yeah. Wave to the camera. Woohoo! Woo! And the next group coming by, Division 14,
They're
National
champions.
Champions, yay!
Oh, the champions, maybe?
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Nice.
2025 CMYSCC 8